what it really do, gang. Welcome back to the channel. As always, you better be having a good day. Shit. Now with that being said, for you guys today, we do have the eyes that are evil, the evil eyes. You know what I'm saying? The eyes that will deceive your opponent. Now with that being said, it took every UR dust that I had, bro. I'm broke now, so please leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe for the boy, man, cause this was painful, and I would greatly appreciate it. With that being said, I have about 4, maybe 5 saucy replays for you guys today. I do have a lot of hand traps and everything in here. I'm gonna explain that towards the end of the video, but I'll tell you right now. Basically, you need 1,000 hand traps in this deck in order to play the game. It's just one of those decks. So with that being said, enough talking. Let's get into them replays. Alright, gang, here we are for the numero uno replay of today, and this one was against Fernando Ruiz. Now I'm not gonna lie to you, we did have a very decent hand, but I mainly wanted to show this to you so I can explain a few things, because you know, when I play a deck, bro, I like to explain things so you guys can understand them. Like, basically it's a showcase, right? So we're gonna activate our Evil Eye domain because we're in Jujutsu Kaisen right now. So then you're gonna activate your Sergio, Watchers of the Evil Eye. That way you could get your Evil Eye Unleashed, sending a I don't know how to say this completely, a Gorgonio to the graveyard and a Catoblepas, right? So that way we could search our Celine. Then we're going to activate our Jorgonio, right? Sending the Celine to the graveyard. That way we could search out an Evil Eye Awakening. Then we're going to activate the Baltrice. Then we're going to activate the Catoblepas in the graveyard. That way we could special summon it onto the field as well. And then we're going to activate the Evil Eye Celine. Now here I did goof, because the only other spell that I have is this one in the graveyard, and you need this in your graveyard during your opponent's turn. So I'm going to show you how I had to make up for that. So we did banish that thing, get the Celine onto the field, activate it by attaching it, and then we're going to activate the Evil Eye of Awakening, right? That way we could special summon, because we do have the Celine, we get to special summon one of our monsters from the deck. So I had to get my my Basilius onto the field, because now we could activate that thing's effect. And we're going to send the Evil Eye Unleashed to the graveyard once again. We're going to activate this thing so we could protect our back row, our Celine. And then with 3 level 3 monsters, we are going to go into the Ashurakin, which is why I wanted to end up on this board. I legitimately thought about the way I was going to make the video, and I wanted to show you a different board than you usually would see. So I did make this on my first turn. Usually you make this on your second turn so you could attack twice or thrice, depending on how many materials you have, right? But it's fine. So here they're going to activate their Pot of Extravagance, and it's, you know, spring on my side of the field. Give me my petals, negate that thing. Then they're going to activate the Fernando Ruiz and the Adventures of Adventures. And I'm like, no, you're not. Evil Eye Retribution. Negate and pop that thing. Get it out of my face. We just don't want to see it. Pop it. Not today. See, that thing is about to negate it as well. So then they're going to... Well, that's gonna trigger my... Every time we activate another Evil Eye, like, spell or trap, it's just gonna make us pay life points, and this thing is gonna get an attack boost. So here they activate the Dimension of Fisher, right? Then they're gonna normal summon the Rubina, which is also going to trigger their Fernando Ruiz Stir. And this is why I went into this thing, because usually you could go with 2 level 3s into this thing, no problem, right? But the reason why I went into this thing is because the Sin Cara cannot negate monsters that are not on the field, which sucks. This thing can negate any monster anywhere, hand, field, or graveyard, or banish on whatever. So that's why I picked it. Also, when I picked this thing is because I can detach this thing, activate its effect, bring it back, and then we can link off into our other Evil Eye monster. So I wasn't worrying, right? So here we decided to negate that thing. Then I decided to infinite impermanence this thing right here. Because if we stop the Rubina, then what else are they gonna do? Dimensional Fisher also got stopped, which is hilarious. So they just decided to scoop, bro. It was a GG's. But yeah, I mainly wanted to show you this replay to explain to you why I picked going to this thing instead of the Sin Cara King. Because again, Sin Cara King cannot negate monsters that are not on the field. So let's go into the next replay. Alright, gang, here we are for the numero dos replay of today, and this one was against, I think it's a 60 pile tier limits deck, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Yeah, it's a 60 card, well, 60 deck this 60 card deck. Anyways, we're gonna activate our domain, switching our Cercio. Most of the time when I have multiple ways of going into our combo, I activate that thing to try and see if they want to Ash Blossom it, or to see if their field would glow to Ash Blossom that thing. So that's why I did that anyways, but we're good. We have full combo, right? We're gonna send the Evil's Eye defeat to the graveyard, that we can search our Celine, set down our Cercio, right? Searching our Baltrice. We're gonna activate the Celine by attaching it. We're gonna get our Cataponius from the graveyard so we can special summon it, but no, we're not, because we're gonna get Biscuit, right? Sad times. So that thing gets banished. We can't special summon it. They're gonna activate that thing's effect. I'm gonna let it rock, but I'm also gonna activate our effect to pop it off of the field. Then I'm gonna activate our tree, special summon it onto the field. Then I'm going to activate my second copy of Celine and attach it to this thing. Now you're probably wondering, why would you do that? Well, you'll see. We actually have a pretty decent hand, so I had a plan. And here we have to pop a card at the end of the turn. It's mandatory because we did use our effect. And that's going to trigger both of our Celines, so we have to pay basically 1,000 life points between both of them to get an attack boost. They're going to activate the Bestial Rebellion, right? Sending that thing to the graveyard, getting themselves a Gershrom. They're going to activate the Foolish Burial. And this is why I did not negate the Bestial Dragon, the Magna Hut. It's because 60 cards, I was thinking about Grass, and then again Agitos, right? Like this one right here. So they're going to activate that thing's effect. I'm going to Ash Blossom that thing and get it out of my face. They're going to activate the Durstrom though, banishing their Bestial Magna Hut. So that way they can special summon that thing onto the field. I'm like, okay, bet. Let's get it. Again, Ash Blossom is spring on my side of the field. They're going to tribute that thing. Special summoning the Lubellion. Now here, this is the funny thing. They can't target this thing right now. Like at all. So they have to go for this thing, right? So, you know, they try to get me out of there, but that was never me. That's just an imposter. Shadow Clone Juice, and I'm gone. I was never there, bro. So we use the spell, and the Baltrice to link summon into this thing. Now I can activate the Evil Eye Unleashed, bring the Celine back onto the field, and attach it to this thing, right? They're going to activate that thing's effect, and I'm going to activate my effect Veiler. Get that out of here. You're not drawing cards, you're not searching anything. So that thing is negated. They're going to normal summon the Snow. I'm going to activate this thing's effect, so that way I can negate the Snow, right? And then I'm going to activate this thing's effect, destroying the Bestial Rebellion. And like I said, every time we activate an effect, we have to pay life points, but we get an attack boost. So here, this is mandatory. I have to destroy a card. They're going to activate the Sulky, but they don't have a T-Limits card on the field, so I'm not really caring about that. So I'm going to destroy my own Evil Eye Celine, activating this thing's effect. Evil Eye Celine, we're going to banish the Evil Eye Defeat, so we'll get on the field, attach it again to our Cercio. Again, that's going to make us pay life points. I'm going to trigger this thing's effect to negate the Snow again. And then we have lethal damage between both of these monsters right here, right? So I'm going to pop him in the face one time for the one time. They are going to activate the Snow, basically banishing everything from graveyard and field to special summon that thing, not knowing that I could pop it again. Get it out of here. Again, we're going to get another attack boost. I'm going to slap him in the face, set down my Evilly Match, and that's all we wrote. If we would have had another Evil Eye spell, I think we could have OTK, but that wasn't the case. So here again, I have to destroy a card, mandatory, so I destroy the Evenly Match. That's going to give us the attack boost. This thing is going to activate, giving us the attack boost, and they're going to activate the Merly. I'm going to negate that thing because, nah, bro. We don't need any of the shenanigans happening. Get it out of here. Again, we're going to have to pay life points. And here, ironically, he decided to end... He decided to crash, but the funny thing is that he didn't know is that legitimately, bro, when you're playing Evil Eyes, you play it against yourself. You're putting yourself in the Genjutsu, bro, because if he would have just ended his turn, at the beginning of my turn, I would have got bodied, because this thing have to activate mandatorily, so we would have got washed, because I would have to pay 500 life points twice. But hey, they don't need to know that. That's not something they needed to know. It was all skill, bro. Let's go to the next replay. Alright, gang, here we are for the numero 3 replay of today. And I believe this one was... It might have been, I think it was Punk, if I'm not mistaken. Was it another 60? Let me see. Yeah, 45, yeah, 50 card. Yeah, it was like a Synchron Bestial... Punk deck. So yeah, they're gonna activate the Bestial Rebellion, get into the Magna Hut. They're gonna normal summon the Sea Aemon. special summon her onto the field, paying the life wounds so that way they can search a Foxy Tomb. Foxy Tomb gonna activate, sending the Serenir to the graveyard. Then they're gonna special summon the Yukioi, right? The Shirakasai. They're gonna activate the Magna Hut, banishing the Serenir. That way they can activate that thing's effect, activating the Beast of Lubellion, getting rid of that thing so they can special summon this thing, activate its effect. But I'm gonna effect Veiler that thing because I don't need them getting that trap or that forget the name of the spell that's gonna allow them to draw if they vanish. So then they're gonna activate the Shirakasai, right, using both of these monsters right here to fusion summon into the Rising Carp. Now I play Punk, bro. I know this is the choke point right here, so I have to activate my Ash Blossom. And it's not Spring on my side of the field because they do have the cross out designated to cross out my skills. So that thing gets bodied and negated, get it out of here. It's no Ash Blossoms at all. So then they're gonna special summon the Wagon, getting the Deer Note onto the field as well. They're gonna activate the Jam Extreme session because now they're listening to music, right? And then with both of these monsters, they are gonna synchro off into the Chaos Ruler. They have to get a little chaotic. It's the only way. Activate that thing's effect. Activate the Deer Note in the graveyard. I'm going to Infinite Impermanence that thing because I don't need them milling dark or light monsters in order to continue comboing off. And honestly, this is the best way or the best time to stop this because they decided to bring this back out, and now I know they can't make a Psychic and Punisher, at least not yet, right? So that thing gets negated. They have 3 level 8s. They're gonna activate the Serenir, banishing my effect Veiler so they can special summon that thing. And then with 2 level 8 monsters, they are gonna go into the number 38 Hopebringer, and then they're gonna draw a card, but they're gonna search out the Baldrake. So here we draw into the one card that we needed, and then my bait, because legitimately I need to bait that thing out. So I activated our Evil Eye Domain, and they took the bait. They're gonna activate that thing's effect. That way they could suck that thing up. Take it, bro. It's my gift. You could have that. So here I'm gonna normal summon my Seriel, right? They're gonna activate the Beast of Drake, banishing the Magna Hut. That way they could special summon that thing. And here basically this is what I took this as. You cannot go into any one of your Link monsters, because even if I go into one of my Link monsters, it's not like I can quick effect attach the Celine to it. They can banish that thing before I attach the Celine to it, so it'll be bad. So I'm gonna search for my Evil Eye Unleash, activate that thing's effect, sending the Jojo to the graveyard. That way I can get my Celine to the hand. Then I'm gonna activate the Gorgonio. I don't know how to say that, bro. Send the Celine to the graveyard so I can search another Celine. Activate the Celine by attaching it. Now I'm gonna pop the Hopebringer because that thing can redirect my attack. So I didn't want that happening. That's gonna trigger the Celine to give me an attack boost. Then I'm gonna activate the Celine in the graveyard, banishing the field spell that I just popped from their Hopebringer. That way I can activate it, attach it, giving myself another attack boost. Then I'm gonna activate the Baltree, special summon that thing onto the field, and then we're gonna get an Evil Eye Defeat onto the field as well. We're gonna pop the Baldrake because we don't need that out here, and that's gonna end our turn. Then we're gonna, here they decided to go into the battle phase if I'm not mistaken, and here we do have a double bounce back. We could bounce 2 cards, we could pop a card on the field, and we can link summon into a negate or into a pop a card, right? So here I decided to activate this thing's effect, deciding to pop the Serenir because this in the hand is nothing because they were going to the battle phase. So I'm gonna use the Celine and our Baltree to link summon into the Gorgon Empress of the Evil Eye, right? That thing gets popped. That's gonna trigger this thing's effect. That's gonna trigger the Serenir, but we're also gonna trigger the Evil Eye Unleash, banishing that thing and give me my Celine back because I deserve it, right? They're gonna show us that they basically had nothing. It was a call by the grave. There was nothing else they could have done. They can't attack over any of these things because I could activate this at any point in time. I can bounce 2 cards back. It was honestly GG's, bro. So with that being said, let's go into the next replay. Alright, gang, here we are for the numero 4 and possibly last replay of the day. I don't know if we'll have time for another one. If we do, I think I have another one. And this one was against, listen, bro. This one was against a tier limits player. And this is in Diamond, by the way. I think this was Diamond 3, Diamond 4, if I'm not mistaken. Just watch the game, bro. I don't even know how to explain it to you. But we're going to activate our Cersei. They're going to activate the Havness, right? I can't do anything about that. I don't have anything to stop it. So we're gonna special summon that thing. They did hit 2 screams. I'm gonna search out my Evil Eye Unleashed. They're gonna activate the scream, getting itself a Sulky or Sulliek. Then we're gonna activate the Evil Eye Unleashed, sending that Gorgonio to the graveyard. That way I can get my Selene onto the hand, right? Activate that Gorgonio, banish that thing, send the Selene down there so I can search myself trap. They're gonna Maxia, so I'm like, damn, that actually messes with the way I was gonna make this board, but it is what it is, right? I'm gonna get my Evil Eye Defeat, special summon this thing, activate its effect, sending an Evil Eye Retribution to the graveyard. Then I'm gonna activate, I actually should have grabbed this instead of this, but the bounce back was better because I don't want to pop anything on their field, especially spells or traps, because it's just gonna give them more resources. So that's why I went for this, if you're wondering. So yeah, so now we're gonna activate the Selene, attach it to this thing, set down our interruption, and end our turn. Now we could have done some different stuff, but again, we're on the max C. We also have 2 infinite impermanents. We have Evil Eye Defeat, which is 2 monster bounce back. We have a Papa card on the field, right? And we have the Deerstrom in the hand. So here they're going to activate the Teal Limit Heartbeat, trying to get rid of my Selene. And I'm going to activate the Infinite Impermanence, that way we can negate the Havness. And basically I was just trying to negate the spell this way, right? So here they're going to activate the Diviner Herald, sending an Agito to the graveyard. They're going to activate that thing's effect, milling a bunch of cards. They're going to activate the Merly, activating the Serenir, right? I'm going to activate the Deerstrom, targeting the Merly to get that thing out of here and banish. They're going to hit me with the second Maxi, of course. Bring it out here. I'm going to activate my Baltrees. Before the Maxi resolves, they're going to activate the Super Polymerization, sending the Sulliek to the graveyard. And that way they can... Oh, hold on, bro. This is what I wanted to tell you. He saw me... This is after the update. Like, you see this blue line right here? This man could see this blue line. It was there the whole time, but he decided to put the Super Polymerization right where the line is glowing. I don't know what's going on, bro. But either way, we're gonna bring the Baldrees before the Maxi gets to activate. They're gonna draw a card off for the Deerstrom, though. They're gonna send another Deerstrom to their own graveyard. They're gonna activate their second Super Polymerization. Now, I don't even know if they just drew into that or if they had it. But basically, they send the Mudara to the graveyard to activate that thing's effect, right? So they're gonna use both of my monsters right here to fusion summon into the Garura. Bring it out here. They're gonna activate the Strato in the graveyard, that way they can special summon that thing. And this is when I'm gonna activate my Evil Eye Defeat. Luckily we did have this thing on the field, because without that we wouldn't have been able to do this. So I'm gonna bounce back the Garura, right? And then they're gonna go into the Dark Charmer Gloomy, activate that thing's effect, bring in our Sergio onto the field, but I'm not allowing that. Get that out of here. Infinite Impermanence once again, negate it. So that thing gets negated. Then they're gonna use both of these monsters to link off into the Sprite Elf. Of course, gotta be Elfin. They're gonna activate that thing's effect, bringing the Dark Charmer Gloomy back onto the field, and they're gonna end their turn, right? So here I'm like, okay, bet. We do have an Effect Veiler. Now, I don't really have that many plays right here, right now. Everything that I have comes from the graveyard. So they're going to activate that thing's effect, bringing the Diviner back onto the field, activating the Diviner, sending a Kelvic to the graveyard, milling a bunch of cards, which they don't know that they just helped me out. So then they're going to activate the Crime. And I have to let them commit this one because I don't have anything to stop it. Then they're going to start screaming. That way they could get themselves a Meta Noise. The Crime is going to get them the Merly back onto the hand. I'm going to activate our Catapelias, and they're going to Mudara that thing, get it out of here. So now I can't even special summon that thing, which is okay because they only targeted that and targeted some of their cards. So I'm actually fine with that because we do have more follow-up with the Selene. Activate the Selene, banish a spell, get it onto the field. Then I'm going to normal summon my Effect Veiler, and then with the Vasilius, I'm going to use both of these monsters right here to link off into the Gornon, Empress of the Evil Eye. Now I already knew the plan that I had to end this turn right here, so I had to figure out a way to OTK, right? So I'm going to activate my Evil Eye Unleash, bringing the Selene back onto the field, attaching it to the thing, activating my other Selene, which is going to trigger the other Selene, giving us the attack boost that we deserve. Then I'm going to activate this thing's effect, negating this thing's effect, so that way they can trigger again and we get another attack boost, right? Gimme. Pop. Pop. So now I get to attack this thing, and now this thing is big enough to destroy them with the Diviner. GG's, brother. GG's. I just don't understand. Like the light is glowing right in front of you, bro. It's there. It's on the feet. I don't know, man. With that being said, let's go to the deck list. Right, gang. I decided to give you another replay. I don't know how I'm gonna make the video, so I might just. So I don't know which replays I want to choose over the other ones. So if they all fit in there, I'm just gonna show you 5 replays. If not, then we'll see. We'll see. So this one was going second, and we are playing against. Well, they're gonna activate emergency teleport. It's another kind of punk deck. It's not 100% pure, but they're gonna activate the Sharakasai right with the wagon. They're gonna go into the Rising Carp. They're gonna activate the Rising Carp's effect. They're gonna special summon the Sea Amen and a Deer Note, activating the Sea Amen. That way they could get themselves a Madame Spider. Then with both of these monsters, they are gonna go into the Punk Jang Dragon Drive. I would have done this combo a little bit differently. I don't know exactly what they had in the hand, but they are gonna pay life points, activating the Deer Note to bring the Yukio Sharakasai back onto the field, activating the CM, and they're just baiting stuff out, which is really good. Always do that. There's no reason not to activate it, right? So then they're gonna get themselves a Ghost Ogres, no Rabbit. They're gonna set the Madame Spider, activate instant contact. They're gonna special summon the Elemental Hero Aqua, paying taxes, so that way they could get a dangerous Gabu. Now with both of these monsters, they are gonna go into the Baron de Floor, right? Get it out here. Now basically what we're looking at is basically an Imperm. As long as this thing is on the field, that's an Imperm. Bounce back and then the Omni Negate, right? Luckily for us, we did have the evenly match, and I drew into an Infinite Impermanence. This is what I'm telling you, bro. This deck needs all of these hand traps and help, because yes, we do a bunch of 1-card combos, but we don't have a lot of negates. So I have to Infinite Impermanence the Baron de Floor, go to the battle phase. Sorry about that, the boy got a phone call. So yeah, basically we did activate our evenly match, and that's gonna force him to activate this thing right here, right? Because they really can't negate this. So they're gonna go and synchro summon into the Amazing Dragon. They're gonna have to banish both of the cards. Unfortunately for them, they did have to banish the trap. The trap with this thing on the field could have negated one of our effects as well. So here we're gonna activate our Evil Eye Domain. They're gonna Ash Blossom that thing, which is crazy, because the only follow-up that I have is that Search the Yell, right? So I'm gonna normal summon that thing, activate its effect, and they're gonna activate the Ghost Ogre's No Rabbit, which is nuts. And I'm gonna tell you why. You want this thing on the field. You need this thing on the field, as a matter of fact. So it's like, this is bad for us. So that thing is gonna get popped. I'm gonna activate my Bow Drake. So that way we could banish the Snow Rabbit, special summon Umbra Drake onto the field. This thing is gonna still get to pop off in the sense of its effects. So I'm gonna search an Evil Eye Unleash. And now we don't have it on the field. Now I'm gonna tell you something. This would have been done. Right here, we would have been done over finito if it wasn't for the fact that we had this thing, right? So we get an Evil Eye Unleash. I activate the Evil Eye Awakening, bring the Cercio back onto the field, activate the Evil Eye Unleash, sending the Giorgio to the graveyard, getting myself the Celine, right? That thing gets sent to the graveyard, activate my Gorgonio, banish that thing, send the Celine to the graveyard, that way I can search out an Evil Eye defeat. Then I'm going to activate the Valtryek, special summon onto the field, activate the Evil Eye Celine, banishing the Awakening, get it onto the field, attach it to the Cercio. Now I can pop that thing in the face, getting my attack boost, setting down my Evil Eye defeat, right? And that's how we got back into the game, bro. Activate that thing's effect. I have to pop a card, it's mandatory. That's going to give me the attack boost. They're going to activate the Foxy Tune. And they probably felt like they didn't have anything, so they just activated this, right? Or maybe they did it by mistake. But either way, the only thing that they could have went into is like a C-Aimon. And then, well, they could have went to a C-Aimon, maybe search out another copy of the Sharakasai, that's if they have one. But either way, if they go into extra deck monsters, I'll banish them. Or I can link off into a negate. Or we could pop a card on the field. Or we could double bounce back. So it was honestly, with no cards in the hand, it was really hard for them to even do anything to us, so they just coop. So with that being said, now let's go into the deck list. Alright, again, here we are for the deck list portion of the video. Now I know you see a bunch of hand traps. I'm telling you, bro, this deck mainly works. It's like playing Live Twins, but I would rather play Live Twins than this stuff. I'm not gonna lie to you. Either way, we have 2 Effect Veilers. I only have 2 anyway, so I'm running it at 2. 3 Maxis, 3 Ash Blossoms, 1 Catoblepas, This thing is basically your protection for this thing right here, but the only thing is that this thing says you can target one evil eye spell trap you control once until the end of the next turn. That card cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effect. It can still get banished. So that's the thing. Like a cosmic cyclone could destroy that thing. So it's like, it can still get banished, just so you know. Then we have 2 basilisks, and this is basically how you're gonna get spells and traps into the graveyard. You could activate that thing's effect, send that thing down there. Then you have 3 Baltrees. This is one of your main cards. Actually, really good that it's a rare as well, because you can special summon this thing from the hand or from the graveyard, and on during your opponent's turns, you're going to link off using your spells. Yeah, using your spell and your monster. You guys saw me do it in the replays as materials to go into your negate or to pop a card on the field, right? Make sure that you have this in the graveyard, that way you could activate, well, attach your Celine to that monster as well. Then we do have 3 Sursteals, aka Itachi at home. This is your Evil Eye main boss monster technically, but yeah, you always need this on the field. You want it on the field. If this thing is not on the field, most of the time you're gonna have a hard time. And this thing searches you out any one of your Evil Eye cards. So it's your searcher, it's your main boss, it's cracked. It's your 1-card combo always as well. Okay, now that that's done, yeah, so we have 1 Bestial Magnahut, 1 Bestial Justrum, and 1 Bestial Baldrake. These are the 3 Bestials that I run again. For the rotation, activate this, search this out. If you already have this, and search this one. Really good for the deck as well, because sometimes you only need 1 of these and any monster to go into your link monster, so it's really good. Then we have 1 Evil Eye Awakening. This is just follow-up, as you guys saw in one of the replays. This can allow you to special summon any one of your monsters from the hand or graveyard, but if you have Celine on the field, they allow you to special summon a monster from your deck, which is really good. Then we have 1 Triple Tactic Talents, because I wanted to keep the deck at 40. If you want to bump it up to 2, bump it up to 2. I'm fine with it at 1. Then 1 Pot of Prosperity, because you can just get rid of some of your cards sometimes if you're a little bit bricked. The deck doesn't really brick all that often, but it does brick sometimes, in the sense that also you might get stopped pretty easily, depending on how much follow-up you have and stuff like that, so it depends. Then you do have 3 Evil Eye Unleashed. This is one of the reasons why the deck became way better, is because you're going to activate this in its effect. That's going to allow you to send 2 cards, a monster and a spell, to the graveyard, which is really good. That way you can search out your Celine. You're going to start popping off that way. Then you have 2 Celines. Again, Celine is just basically what makes your monsters unaffected, untargetable. If this thing gets popped, your monsters are basically vulnerable. If they hit you with a kaiju, you might as well go home. It's just that sad. Then Georgia, this is basically Celine 2.0. When it's on the field, it basically becomes Celine, but in the graveyard, it allows you to get rid of a monster. Sometimes what I like to do is activate this thing in the graveyard, send this to the graveyard, and search out a trap or a spell that way, which is good because you can special summon this thing back onto the field. Then we do have 3 Evil Eye Domain. This is also your 1-card combo, aka also your field spell. This is what you mainly will destroy at the end of the end phase with this thing, because if you destroy this, it will allow you to get one of your Evil Eye monsters from the graveyard back to the hand as well, which is really nice. Then if you take battle damage, your opponent has to take that battle damage as well, which is also nice. Then we do have 3 evenly matches, because going second, this deck sucks really bad, bro. So you need that thing. 2 infinite impermanence, because I only have 2. If I had 3, I would definitely bump out up to 3, bring this to 2, bring this up to 3. You need as many negates as you can with this deck. Then we do have 1 Evil Eye Defeat. This is a double bounce back on the field. And then we do have Evil Eye Retribution, just in case they try to evenly match you. Activate any spells, Brand Diffusion, all of that shenanigans. Activate this, pop it, get it out of there. 1 Defensive 9 Break Sword. Again, just in case you need to pop a card on the field. You don't mind popping your field spell sometimes, so this could actually lead to a more combo extension. But most of the time I use it to pop a card on the field, slap my opponent, and make a Zeus. Then DDD Stone King Darius is because we do make this thing. So with 2 level 3s, we go into this, and then we go into this thing right here. Then we have 1 number 3s in Katakin, because with 2 level 3 monsters, you basically have a monster negate. This only works for a monster that's on the field, so be careful with that. You won't be able to negate any like tier limits when they activate their stuff in the graveyard or anything like that. Only on the field, which is why I like to go into this thing sometimes if I can get 3 level 3 bodies on the field, because it negates any monsters from anywhere. Now I was thinking about running this at 2, but it's not that easy to get 3 level 3 monsters on the field. You can do it pretty consistently though, it's just not that easy. It depends. But this thing allows you to attack twice or thrice depending on all the materials that it has, right? And it's a negate. Then we do have the Divine Arsenal ASUs because we're playing all of these Xyz monsters, right? Then we do run 2 Gordon Empress of the Evil Eye. I only have 2, I can only make 2, so I'm running it at 2. This is a negate. This can negate a card on the field as long as it's attached with the Selene, right? Then we have the IP Masquerena. Then we have the Dark Charmer Gloomy. Then Nightmare Unicorn. Then Cercio, Ruler of Evil Eyes. This is basically your pop any card on the field that they control. If you do get this thing up to 2600 and you make this thing, then this thing will attack twice, and sometimes that's really good because if you pop a card on the field and your opponent is left with nothing, this thing can go up to like maybe 4600 to 5000 damage, so you could slap people twice with this thing and probably win the game. Then we do have one Aztecs called Talker, because that boy do be talking. You need to pop a card on the field, slap your opponent for 5300. That's your card right there. And then we do have Underworld Goddess because we can get 4 monsters on the field to out big tower monsters that your opponent might have. So with that being said, that is my deck list. That is how I'm playing the deck. If you guys have any questions, comments, and concerns, any details, anything I missed, anything you want me to know, comment in the section below. I always reply. If you enjoy the content, please give a like, share, comment, and subscribe. And continue having a great day. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.